NHL trade deadline causes a ton of drama, but for one particular mascot, it earned him a Rolex that may not have even been necessary. Welcome back to Breaking the Ice, the series where I tell you everything you need to know to become a hockey fan. Now, the NHL trade deadline was yesterday afternoon, which causes a lot of upheaval in various teams throughout the league. So yesterday, you were probably seeing a ton of announcements of players being shuffled around, long-term friends being separated, and in the LA Kings case, a number of players being shuffled about. Now, our Rolex mascot saga actually starts a few weeks ago ahead of the Olympics. Prior to the Olympic break, the LA Kings executed an incredible trade, bringing over Artemi Panarin from the New York Rangers. When Panarin joined the LA Kings, he was previously using the number 10 on the New York Rangers. However, the number 10 was already in use, so Panarin wanted to go back to his old number 72. However, there was another very important person in the stadium utilizing the number 72, and that was our mascot, Bailey. While we waited for the NHL to return from the Olympic break, there was a lot of conversation. Would Bailey have to change his number, or would Panarin have to do so himself? Ahead of Panarin's official first game as an LA King on February 25th, the Kings posted a video of Panarin making a deal with Bailey in order to continue wearing his number 72. Instead of either icon having to change their number, Panarin gifted Bailey a Rolex, and when I say he gifted him a Rolex, I mean we literally saw him get one over a mascot's wrist. From that, they did a photo shoot, they posed as best friends, and they both locked in on the number 72. But fast forward just 5 games to today, where Panarin has now debuted a new number, which is the number 10. Now, the drama behind this requires you to understand a little bit more lore about the LA Kings. At the beginning of this season, we brought over a player named Corey Perry. Now, Corey Perry was previously on both of our rival teams. He played for a long time for the Anaheim Ducks, and the last team he was on prior to coming to the LA Kings was the Edmonton Oilers. The Edmonton Oilers have been the team that have knocked us out of the Stanley Cup playoffs a number of times, including last season. So when we brought over Corey Perry to our team, it was a huge fan-based riot of bringing over a mortal enemy to put him into an LA Kings jersey. It was so bad that when I attended the season opener, Corey Perry was booed by the entire stadium despite already being injured and not even being suited up for the game. However, Corey Perry ends up then being a pretty great player and working into our roster really well, which is why it was surprising that at the very last moment of the trade deadline yesterday, it was announced that Corey Perry had been traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning. And you'll never believe what number he was wearing for the LA Kings before that trade. It was number 10. So for a total of 5 games, Corey Perry and Artemi Panarin were on the ice at the same time. Panarin wore the number 72, which he had given our mascot a Rolex in order to be able to continue wearing. But the second that Corey Perry was traded, Artemi has already changed his number to the number 10. And we had to have an entire post of saying that Bailey and Panarin are still best friends, but sometimes that means you don't match. And friendship can make it through a good change. While there have been a lot of very devastating storylines coming out of this NHL trade deadline, this has to be one of my favorite and most wholesome, especially because now we have a mascot with a Rolex and he gets to keep his number and he doesn't have to match with anyone.